across the world, it's being said that by the media that rising instances of majoritarian intolerance are being seen in India, whereas the recent trend that we have seen, the cases that have come up, even in this particular case, you can find the boys saying that they're trying to beat him up. Firstly, they're beating him up, and then they're saying they're going to fix his ideology. What are your views on this wholly ironical situation, which is visible and compared to what is being portrayed in the media?
Shreyaji, let me just give you the facts, and I think you can then decide for yourself what the problem is. In the 70s, the Hindus were attacked in New Jersey. They were called dot heads, their heads were smashed. Recently, in Leicester, Hindus were attacked, their homes were ransacked. There's also a Henry Jackson Society report which clearly says that the Hindus were not at fault for the violence that was unleashed upon them. Then we have India. I think the most recent example is that of the boy we're speaking about, where he was assaulted and he was beaten up to pulp. We have neighboring countries. We have Pakistan. We have Bangladesh. We know the state of Hindus there. So, do you see a majoritarianism trend, or do you see a rather Hindus being targeted worldwide for just choosing to play by rules, for choosing to integrate, and for choosing to be law abiding citizens? So I think this is a trend that we really need to understand instead of hypothecating or trying to impose Western definitions. I mean, majoritarianism, sure. Fascism, sure. But it's not happening in India. And just because one religion or community holds a numerical majority, that does not mean that you then vilify their culture, their patience, their morals, based on accepted Western definitions for when a community becomes a numerical majority, because Hindus have never been that way. Hindus have never been expansionists. We have never led crusades to conquer the world and to convert people by force, or by fire. We've never done that historically. You can look at history. Even today, despite being a numeric majority, we chose to be a country where we give equal rights to other religions as well, irrespective of whether what they've done to us and our ancestors. Because let's face it, the colonial period and the Mughal era was not easy on Hindus. It was one of the most horrific periods of time for Hindus. Despite that, when we got to a place where we had a say in the political climate, we chose to give equal rights to everybody. So I think it's unfair to impose accepted definitions of majoritarianism or fascism or anything for that matter on Hindus, because Hindu culture does not propone these things. Dharma doesn't propone these things. And I'm not saying this out of thin air. You can look at facts, you can look at history, you can actually go back in time, because we are, after all, the oldest surviving indigenous culture out there. So we were there before Christianity, we were there before Islam, and there is proper documented history of what we were up to when we were there. So I think time, history, everything speaks for our nature and for the way we've been. And I don't think we can say the same thing about other communities. So maybe if a certain community, religious community, becomes a majority numerically, maybe they do resort to majoritarianism, maybe they do resort to fascism. But I think it is wholly dependent on the very fundamental nature of the community, and Hindus are not that way. I'm sorry. You got to come up with better facts if you want to just label, mislabel, and hogwash the rich history and the decency that we've had to other people and communities over time.
Please remember to subscribe to us and switch on the notifications for this channel. For our other social media links, more content, and to support our work, please visit citti.net. Dhanyavad. Namaskar.